Hey there YouTube, this is your girl, Lady J. Rosetta May. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we are doing a 1970s inspired makeup tutorial. We are doing it based off the beautiful, the lovely, the talented Pam Grier. And so I really wanted to come on and get this video out for you guys. So let's get started. So like I always do, I'm going to be starting with my eyes. I already have primed my eyes using the Maybelline Fit Me concealer using the color Caramel, which is 40. And I pretty much set that with the translucent setting powder from Besame. You guys know this is one of my holy grail setting powders. I love it. I also already primed my skin. It is looking glorious. I prime my skin using the Blur and Smooth Maybelline primer in the color, well, in the 100 one, and I also use this on my face as well. This is the Hydra Boost Sunscreen SPF 50. So I'm going to be going in with a very deep brown color. This color here, this is the color, I want to say it is called Coffee Break. And so I'm using a very fluffy brush from Sephora, and I'm just going to go in with that color. And I'm really going to be doing one eye on camera just to show you how I do this. Now I use pretty much most of my shadows this way, especially when I'm doing a transition color. I'm just using this as a wash of color on my eye. Now we all know that the 70s had some very interesting eye tones for Black women. Of course, it was still a different time, and you really didn't see a lot of Black women in media as much as we do now. And so now I'm going to be taking this shade. This shade is the shade Ice Queen. And so I'm going to be taking that shade Ice Queen, and very gingerly, I'm just going to be placing that on the outer V of my eye, but more along this area here, and just smoking that out right in that area. Okay, so this is going to be kind of a softer look, and then I'll probably bump it up with a little bit of black from my Too Faced Chocolate Gold palette, like so. So I'm just really building that up. I'm using all of these brushes right now, except the first one I used is a Real Techniques brush, and I'm just blending. I'm just blending this out, like so. Then the next shade that I'm going to be using is the shade Decadent. Just like this, it is a deep black shade, and you see it's already pumping up that tone right in that outer V, like so. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking yet another Real Techniques brush, and this is supposed to be a deluxe crease brush, but I'm not using it that way. So the next one I'm going to be using is this color here. This is the color Glitter Dress, and I'm going to be placing that on my lid and just really stamping that in. Yes, this is a very gray, kind of a neutral, because I don't want to, you know, make it too much. So I'm just gonna, oops, wrong shade. Glitter Dress. And just going in with that. and just punching that in. Like so. Yes, there is fallout with the shadows. It's a bit. So after that, I'm going to go in, and with this is going to highlight my brow bone. This color is the color Mystic Queen. I'm going to go in with an e.l.f. brush this time and just gently highlight my brow bone using this very gingerly. Highlighting that brow bone all the way out like that. Now, pretty much my eye is done, okay? Now, the way that I like to finish this off is that I like to take that color Coffee Break again, and I'm gonna go in with a kind of a liner brush. Let's see. I'm gonna use like a liner brush here. And, well, this one is kind of an eye, like a brow brush. But I'm just gonna go in with that color Coffee Break and run that across my lower lash line, just to kind of give me like a smoked out appeal. All right. Now, this decade is not known for the wing liner. I'm just telling you. It was more of a closed eye look, so I'm going to go in with this. This is my Maybelline Lasting Drama Matte in the color Jet Black. Going in like so. It has a retractable deal there. I'm just going to go in like this. I'm not creating a wing, I'm just creating even sides. And I'm gonna go under my eye, connecting, and I'm just gonna go to the middle of my eye. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the eye look. Very simple, very muted. And then I like to go in with a good mascara. This one is one of my favorite ones. This one is the Milk Makeup Cosmeta. This is mascara. And so I like to go in and just use a nice little amount to help bring my lashes back from the dust known as shadow. Okay, and I will be putting on some falsies to set this look up. So I'm gonna do my other eye and I'll be right back. All right, so now both my eyes are done, and so I'm gonna go over the shadows that I used with you guys. I used the color Coffee Break. I used the color Ice Queen, Glitter Dress, and Mystic Queen. All of these are from Sephora in the singles. I believe they pretty much are still at Sephora. You know, pretty much you can buy them at any Sephora, probably nationwide. So I am just gonna take a little bit of translucent powder and dust away that fallout. I know it looks kind of like super bright under my eyes. The powder that I'm using, that's translucent powder, is a brightening powder. So now I'm going to be going in and we're doing the face. The face is probably one of my favorite parts to do during makeup. And I think I told you guys already that I use the Milk Cosmetics in Kush. So now I'm going to be going in with the Juvia's Place. I can't wait to use this foundation. I know that this foundation is very, very pigmented. I'm using the foundation color Malawi. I swear this is too much. I know this is too much. Malawi number 230. I'm going to be going in, I want to say, with my kabuki brush here from Sigma, hands down one of the best makeup brushes in the world. I love this makeup brush. It gives me a lot of life. Do you guys see how much I put on my brush? Not a lot. Now what I'm gonna do, especially with this makeup look, is I'm only gonna do half of my face for like a minute so you can see how this foundation compared to the rest of my face is covering. And so as you can see, this foundation is super, super pigmented. And when I say pigmented, if you have acne scars, if you have any kind of discoloration, this is the foundation for you. Period. This foundation is so creamy. It is beautiful, and it dries down to a velvety matte finish. It's not so matte that you're gonna feel it on your skin as, you know, you're like, oh my God, why is my face so tight? So that is one layer. And this is my face. One layer, my face. It is a dead-on match pretty much to my skin. So I wanna let you guys look at that. Just go ahead and blend down on to my neck. And so the reason why I wanted to do this makeup tutorial, guys, is because there are not enough vintage makeup tutorials on Pam Grier, on the 1970s, on Black women in the 1970s that are portrayed on YouTube. I haven't really seen too much of that. And so I honestly just wanted to go in and just do this for the culture, you know? So how do you guys like that? I think it's a good match. I do. I think that's a good match. And it dries down. It looks a little light right now, but it actually oxidizes and dries down to pretty much my shade, because I am a chocolatey person. Yes, chocolatey. And I always tell people that, you're like the kids, you know, the kids that, you know, I work with at work, always I'm like, oh my gosh, Mrs. Brown, what's going on? I'm like, I'm chocolatey. So, you know, and just go into the hairline, go pretty much on your temples. This is a full coverage foundation. And this is just one layer that I put on my face. What do you think about the one layer? Please put it down in the comments below. All right, stay tuned and we'll come back and paint this face. So now we're back. I am doing my highlighting. And so what I've been doing lately is I've been highlighting with the, again, Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the color, I want to say this is the color Caramel number 40. It's really bright, but eventually once I powder down, this is not going to be as bright as we think. So again, I love makeup and I love the vintage life. I like to bounce in between my decades. So 9 times out of 10 you'll see me in the 50s decade, the 50s, probably even the late 40s with my fashion. And so I really enjoy doing this, and I just want to represent Black women in the vintage arena, you know, because a lot of people think it's just Marilyn Monroe and Betty Page, and it just isn't. We have people like Pearl Bailey, and we have people like, you know, Dorothy Dandridge, who paved the way for superstars today to be who they are. And so to me, it is so important for us to remember them, to make sure that we don't forget where we come from. So I'm going to be going in with the loose translucent setting powder in the color French Vanilla from Besame Cosmetics. You see how buttery this goes down? Like, it just blends in. I don't like to bake. I don't like to bake in the sense like, you know, have like a really like serious layer of powder, because it tends to, for me, it tends to stick to my skin and then it just looks really dry. So I really just like to blend in the powder. And so I'm just using my beauty blender and going down the middle of my nose, up and into the forehead. And then I go in, just bringing down the powder. I don't like to, there we go. I don't like it to be so, you know, defined sometimes. You know, I like it to be as natural as physically possible. I know makeup is not natural, but I want it to be as natural as physically possible. So also, I'm going to be contouring, and I'm going to be contouring very lightly using my Fit Me powder in the color 40 Dark. And you guys have seen me do this before. And I'm going to be taking a beautiful brush from Real Techniques. This is, I want to say this is like a, let me see, an expert face brush. And I'm going to go in and just sculpt like so. Just like this. And kind of bring it up. Like kind of like a U. Like so. And then just blend it all the way down as like natural as I can get it. And then just kind of blend it in, going around. Okay. And you guys see how amazing this foundation is? It is so natural. I love it. So I'm just going to bring that contour down, make a little U shape. Very, very natural. You could fairly, very see, like just a little bit. And I like using the powder because I don't like using too many products that are like, what's the word? Like very, it gets greasy after a while. And so I don't, anything to do to cut down the grease, I like to do. And I just go up the sides of my nose and just pat that in, like so. Okay. And so after that, we're going to be using a very natural blush today. And that blush is the Maybelline Fit Me blush in the color Peach. And it looks like this on the brush. And I just like to go ahead and buff that in. You see it has like a little bit of a metallic-y shade. And I really like this. This is the way it looks on my skin tone. Very natural blush, guys. Like, you have to remember, 1970. So you want it to be as natural as possible. Just glowy skin, natural looking. That's what you want. So I'm just going to go in and ta-da. So now, for the lips, I like to use kind of almost a white for this look. It's almost white. It's from NYX. And I want to say it's in the color, let me see. Yeah, it's in the color Abu Dhabi. Okay. And so I'm going to line my lips with the color Chestnut to just give my lips some definition. And so I have it here just to give my lips like a little bit of definition so that once things kind of melt together, they look really good. So hang in there. All right, so here we go. And I'm going to line my lips with the color Chestnut from MAC. I'm following the natural outline of my lip. And it's just going down. And then I'm going to go like this. Like so. Okay. Now I'm going to be using, this is a liquid lip cream, this is soft matte lip cream in the color Abu Dhabi. Yeah, you see how that goes? Very pretty. As natural as we can get it. Soft, very soft. So this is the finished makeup look. After I'm done, I always like to go in with a powder. I'm using a Real Techniques brush, and I'm gonna go in with my Milk Cosmetics Blur and Set powder, and just go in and set everything. I like to do it with a fluffy brush because I don't want anything to get like caked on or anything. There is no highlight, and I'm going to repeat myself, no highlight for this look. No highlight whatsoever. So you don't want to highlight because the 70s didn't have highlighter. Okay. Alright, so this is the finished makeup look. And now I'm going to put on my fro, and I'll be right back. So we're back. I have my fro on. Ha 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 ha. I love this, y'all. Y'all have no idea how much I love my fro. This is huge. Huge. And this is the final look. I hope that you guys like it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And I will catch you later. Bye.